This week we have Venus, ruler of relationships and resources, moving into Gemini, and we have Neptune, ruler of the spiritual realm, turning to retrograde motion. All of this, an empowered moment and more in my new intuitive energy forecast for the week of Monday, June 30th through Sunday, July 6th, 2025. Stay tuned. Hello everyone, this is Colleen Lemma, Starseed Astrologer and Spiritual Messenger, here with your weekly intuitive reading. For this week, we're going to be using the Late Seers Tarot by Chris Ann for the main message for everyone. Your special message card this week, depending on your stone of choice, is going to be coming from the Energy and Spirit Oracle deck, and this one is by Sandra Ann Taylor. So before we get into your stones of choice for that special message or the astrology of the week, let's go ahead and close our eyes and do an empowered moment. So as you close your eyes, take a deep breath. And as you exhale, release all that your body, mind, and soul no longer needs. Visualizing golden white light of Creator Source, Great Spirit, universe all around you. And as you see that golden white light, or feel it, sense it, or just know that it's there, take in a deep breath and breathe it into every cell of your body. As you exhale, letting your body relax even more. And feeling now a more focused ray of that golden white light shining down from source and connecting with your third eye chakra. Feel or sense, feel or just know that this beautiful ray of golden white light, as you're enveloped in a beautiful circle or oval of golden white light. That ray of golden white light is coming down to gently caress your third eye chakra. And seeing, sensing, feeling, or just knowing that it's turning from this beautiful etheric golden white into a beautiful deep dark indigo blue color. Activating your third eye chakra, activating your psychic abilities and psychic perceptions, activating your imagination and visualization, your ability to see beyond the physical realm. For this week, we have Neptune, ruler of the spiritual realm, ruler of our psychic senses, turning to retrograde motion. And as he shifts, it will bring in a newfound sense of clarity to your vision. Clarity in order to see what previously has been hidden, what has previously been within a fog or distorted. As your third eye is opened, as Great Spirit is caressing that third eye chakra to expand it in a healthy, beautiful, balanced way, it will open your ability to see the clarity of yourself, of your life, of your path, of your lessons. As Neptune turns retrograde, we will see with new vision. Again, seeing with clarity what we need to see. And with that intention in mind, take a deep inhale, breathing that intention into every cell of your body. As you exhale, when you feel ready, you can open your eyes, returning to this time and place and space. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at our stones of choice for the special message card a little bit later. These are all special intention pendants, which you can find now on my new website, ColleenLemma.com. It's got a fresh new look to it, including the shop page. So would love for you to go and check that out. And again, these pendants and many more are listed there, but this first one, this is mystical blue gold stone. Now this is such a deep dark blue that it almost looks black when I'm holding it up to the camera, but it is in fact that indigo blue color of the third eye chakra. And this is wrapped in gold wire. As you can see, it's Reiki charged with the energy of master number 11, number of clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, claircognizance. It's also infused with the energy of the light worker, which is another key phrase for master number 11. The qualities of Neptune himself are infused into this blue gold stone, the planet that rules other dimensions of time and space. The activation of the throat chakra, ear chakras, third eye chakra, and crown chakras for speaking one's truth, hearing guidance, receiving visions, and opening to the higher dimensions. This one has infused into it Archangel Michael's energies, the Archangel for protection on one's path as you move forward, and the energies of Archangel Metatron for connection to one's own Akashic records. It's also infused with the energy of our star brothers and sisters of the highest vibration of light. All right, and then let's look at stone number 2. This one is blue apatite. So this is almost a little bit more of a turquoise color. It's wrapped in silver wire and Reiki charged with the vibration of master number 22, number of proper use of power and manifestation of goals on the third dimensional plane of existence that we're currently living in or vacillating from. The qualities of the planet Jupiter infused into this, planet of expanding into one's knowledge, higher wisdom and knowledge and truth. The energies of the sign of Pisces to connect one to their past lives and increase one's psychic perceptions and abilities. And the energies of Archangel Metatron, Archangel that assists us again with connecting with our Akashic records and to gain access and understanding to our soul's patterns and gifts. And then the last stone of choice. I guess I was in a blue mood. This is Indigo Aura Quartz. This is a vibrant blue color. And the Indigo Aura Quartz is wrapped in gold wire again, and it's Reiki charged with the vibration of master number 11, number of the lightworker and the visionary. The energies of Uranus are infused into this one, planet of higher inspiration and channeling. The energies of the sign of Aquarius for downloads of higher spiritual information and claircognizance, which is clear knowing. The opening and balancing of the crown chakra for higher awareness and insights. The third eye chakra for increased visions and clairvoyance. And it's infused with the energies of Archangel Raziel for alchemy, divine magic, and magnified psychic abilities, as well as Archangel Michael for protection and shielding from lower energies. So again, your stones of choice for the special message card. I'm going to see if I can tilt the light a little bit. Maybe you can see the colors a little bit better. This is blue gold stone. It still looks not blue, but it is a deep dark indigo blue. We've got blue apatite. I guess that's not really helping, is it, to see the blue? This is kind of, again, this beautiful turquoise blue color. It's still a deep color. And then of course this one, there are all different shades of blue. This is the blue indigo aura quartz, right? All right, so let's set these aside and let's take a look at the astrology for the week. There was really nothing major happening until Friday the 4th of July. So that's Independence Day in the United States, right? On Friday the 4th of July, We've got Venus, ruler of relationships, love, personal resources like finances, our values, and our sense of self-worth. And Venus on Friday the 4th starts out in the last degree of Taurus, connecting with Uranus, the Great Awakener, in the last degree of Taurus. So they're coming together in that very final degree. So first of all, that final degree is a very important degree, because as a sign is moving from one sign to another and it's in that final degree, it like really magnifies the energies of that sign, kind of like one last hurrah, one last oomph of what that energy is all about. And what is Taurus all about? Taurus is about earthy energies, practical, grounded energies. It does rule money and finances. It does rule our personal resources like our time and our gifts. Taurus also rules how we value ourselves, again, our sense of self-worth, just like Venus rules that, because Venus does rule Taurus. She also rules Libra, but one of the signs that she rules is Taurus. So she's in her home sign for these last few moments on Friday the 4th. So what could happen here? You know, again, Uranus, the Great Awakener, is about sudden, unexpected redirections. It is about surprises. It is about, again, this higher vibrational God mind energy, so revelations and awakening and downloads of higher information that are coming forth. Uranus is very future oriented, whereas Taurus, where it currently is and where Venus currently is a little bit more grounded in the third dimension. So it's interesting here. It's like almost this awakening energy is happening. So there might be some sort of awakening or surprise or redirection in a relationship, in love matters in general, with our money and finances, with what we value or who we value or how we value ourselves. And again, there's a big shift that's going on. This could also bring something on a collective level with the Earth Mother herself, because Taurus, again, is an Earth sign. So Uranus could shake things up, perhaps volcanic activity or something of that nature. There could be something surprising happening on a collective level with the money aspects, the financial aspects on the planet. So again, there is something that's closing out the energy of both of these planets being in the last degree and connecting with one another. And again, it's going to be something most likely that's unexpected. And then just a little while after it connects together, those two planets, Venus and Uranus, Venus is going to move into Gemini, and it's still the 4th of July here, Friday, July 4th. And Venus will be in Gemini until July 30th. So it's going to be there for, not quite a month, almost a month, but not quite. Now Venus, the ruler of love and relationships, is in this sign of duality, in this sign of information, messages, thinking, the mind. It's very intellectual here. So she may be a little bit more flirtatious. She's going to value communication a little bit more within relationship matters. She's going to be a little bit more lighthearted rather than deep and serious like she was in Taurus. Within regards to money and finances, there could be two different paths that we could follow, or two different paths that we are following as far as an income stream is concerned. There could be, two various ways that we're bringing in resources into our lives. One of the resources with Venus and Gemini might be learning something new, because Geminis do like to learn new things. They like that information. And so they kind of look at, facts and details, and they're very intellectual. So that could be happening as well. Now, the thing about Venus and Gemini is not a grounded sign. It's what we call mutable or vacillating or changeable. And so within relationships, Venus could change her mind. She could be vacillating back and forth between making a decision. In fact, Gemini, the sign of Gemini, rules the Lover's card. And the Lover's card is often about making decisions and choices within relationship matters. And since Venus is the planet of love and relationships, there may be a decision that we have to make. We're looking at both sides of the coin. We're looking at this duality, and maybe again, it's a difficult time to be making a focused decision, because Gemini is going to vacillate back and forth. Similarly in money, vacillating back and forth with what direction to go, or what's the next step, or whatnot. Although, we're gathering information, whether it's relationship related or resource related, we're gathering information that's going to help serve us to make the most logical, I guess, decision for us. And then we're still not done with Friday the 4th of July, because after that, Neptune, ruler of the spiritual realm, Neptune, ruler of illusion, delusion, and confusion, but also the magic and miracles of the universe, things that are unseen and intangible. Neptune is turning to retrograde motion at 2 degrees of Aries. So it's in the early degrees of Aries. If you remember, not too long ago, few weeks ago, Neptune left Pisces, where it was for a good many years, and it's now in Aries, but it has only gotten up to the 2nd degree. And Saturn, although Saturn's not really involved in this week's transits, as we call it, Saturn also is in the early degrees of Aries. And I'm bringing Saturn up because as Neptune turns retrograde at 2 degrees of Aries, with Saturn at 1 degree of Aries and still currently in its forward motion, that means Neptune goes retrograde, but Saturn's moving forward. We got Neptune at 2 degrees, Saturn at 1 degree. So they're coming closer together. Now, they're not actually going to connect this year because they're both fairly slow moving, and Saturn also is going to retrograde in the days to come in Aries, but they're very close right now. And so I bring this all up because Neptune, being the ruler of things that are unseen or intangible, wearing rose-colored glasses, illusion, confusion, delusion, when it retrogrades, it's often said that there's clarity. All of a sudden we have this clarity, and we can see, we take off those rose-colored glasses, or we see through the illusion of what we've been living in. And that can be in any aspect of our life: career, money, relationships, just in regards to ourself and our own evolution and growth. It's like those rose-colored glasses come off when Neptune turns retrograde, especially when it first redirects. And all of a sudden we've got this, oh my gosh, this aha clarity that comes into play. And the reason Saturn here is so important, being so close to Neptune, is Saturn can be about reality checks. And so for the next, I'd say 4 to 8 weeks, these two planets are traveling very close together within about a degree of each other. And Saturn's providing the reality checks, and Neptune retrograde is saying, okay, we're going to lift the veil of illusion so you can see things with clarity. And we're going to have a lot of moments of kind of looking at what true reality is on a collective level and on a personal level as well. Okay, so then on Sunday, we will mention a couple of quick things on Sunday the 6th. So Sunday the 6th of July, Venus in Gemini is going to be in a positive sextile aspect to both Saturn and Neptune retrograde in Aries. Now again, Saturn's still moving forward, but Neptune is retrograde, but they're both very close together. And Venus connects with both of them. And a sextile is a positive aspect of opportunity. We have to look for the opportunity, be aware of the opportunity, take action on the opportunity, and then something very beneficial can happen. So here's Venus in Gemini. What could this mean? This could be an opportunity to widen your social circle. This could be an opportunity to make new friends, to have good conversations with people. This could be an opportunity to learn something new or gather information or details that's needed. This could be an opportunity to put your ideas, because Gemini rules thinking and ideas and thoughts and perceptions and whatnot. So we're putting our ideas into some sort of tangible action to produce some sort of worthwhile result. And that's a result of Saturn being in Aries, an action-oriented sign, but it's grounded. Saturn is a grounded kind of action. but Neptune is this wonderful kind of the dream. And so we have tangible action towards the dream if we kind of take that information, that ideas that we have with Venus and Gemini, maybe talk it out with somebody, maybe collaborate with somebody, networking is really positive right now. That can help to bring something into tangible reality. So it's great for manifestation, in other words. So that's a little bit about the astrology for the week. Let's go ahead and take a look at the messages from our angels and guides. Okay, so the first card here, the first card is Major Arcana 10. It's the Wheel of Fortune. So the Wheel of Fortune is about destiny, luck, fate, karma. And just like a wheel, in fact, we don't have just one wheel in this particular card. We've got 3 wheels on top of one another. It makes me feel like there's something karmic here, right? There's not just one wheel of fate or destiny or karma that's spinning and turning. There's actually 4, because there's a little one down here. So this feels like there's something that's old and ancient, something from past lifetimes, something from other time periods, these old karmic lessons that maybe we've repeated through several different lifetimes. And the Wheel of Fortune is saying, okay, it's time to take a look at this repeating theme in your life, right? It's time to stop feeling like you have to kind of balance between a higher reality or a higher spiritual direction and getting caught in this rumination of the past and this old cycle and repeating these old karmic lessons. So here she is trying to balance on top of this top wheel, but it seems like probably for several incarnations, she's been trying to balance something, trying to learn some sort of karmic lesson, to move through it, to get through it, so that this wheel of fate, this wheel of karma, this wheel of destiny can turn in her favor. Because the Wheel of Fortune we often look at as positive good luck. There's something fortunate with the Wheel of Fortune happening, which is normally true. But we have to also learn our soul lessons in order to move forward. And this card kind of indicates that maybe more so than other cards might. Sometimes with the Wheel of Fortune, again, it's almost like a decision or choice where we could, with our free will, stay in a particular pattern and repeat something yet again for another karmic, wheel. Or we can make this free will choice, like it's time to move on. I'm tired of trying to balance through this karmic lesson and to continue having it spiral around and around and around. Let's regain our footing, let's regain our balance, and let's move forward. Let's make the choice to move through and rewrite the story and not live this perpetual pattern over and over again. It's time to move into good fortune, good luck, and our destiny. And so I feel like, it's almost like she's got like she's holding on to this veil. It's time to drop that veil of illusion. This is kind of a combination of Venus connecting with Uranus, which can bring a sudden and unexpected change of scenery, a change of direction, a change of motion here. And Neptune turning retrograde, where we're dropping this veil of illusion and we're getting ready to see something with clarity to move forward. So this is a very powerful card. I'm looking at what she has around her neck, and it appears to be a set of die, what we would call 2 dice, right? So it's like rolling the dice, right? It's time to roll the dice and make a change. It's time to roll the dice and claim your fortune. It's time to drop the veil of illusion and win the game, basically, okay? All right, let's put this down and let's see. The next card came out as 2 cards, and so let's look at what both of those cards are. Okay, so we've got the one that appears on top is the 10 of Wands. The 10 of Wands is, first of all, it's the last of the minor arcana of the Wand suit. The Wand suit is about creativity, visualization, it's fire, it's movement, it is the realm of spirit. since we're at the end here with the number 10, we're at the end of some sort of spiritual cycle. Again, similar, that part is a similar meaning to the Wheel of Fortune. But the 10 of Wands, you can see that there's a mule there carrying a heavy load. She is, in fact, like carrying a pillow and a suitcase. She's traveling down this desert kind of road with nothing on it. This can really be about actually carrying a heavy load, spiritually speaking. Maybe those karmic lessons, again, this would indicate we're getting to the end of having to carry them. We're getting to the end of having to be burdened by them. It's time for a change of scenery. She's got the suitcase, right? Let's take the next curve of this road and let's move into new scenery. Maybe we can unload some of that heavy pack of energy from the mule or the oxen here that's carrying it, right? We don't need to carry all of these karmic lessons here anymore. We can relieve ourselves of that burden because, again, we're getting to the end of a cycle with the 10, getting to the end of a spiritual cycle. And what comes after the 10, if we loop back around, not including the court cards, right? We're not talking about the court cards, the page, the knight, the queen, and the king. But if we loop back around into the minor arcana, we're then back to the Ace of Wands. So this is about getting close to a new beginning. And so, again, we have to let something go. This is about letting something go, something spiritual. Again, some sort of spiritual burden, spiritual mindset, negative mindset, an old karmic pattern, something that's been weighing us down. So far with the Wheel of Fortune and the 10 of Wands, it seems like there's a change of destiny here in the air, and we're releasing, or we're needing to release something and let something go. Of course, our free will, we can choose to continue to hang on to it, but it wouldn't be in your soul's evolution and growth, the highest, best interest of your soul's evolution and growth. Now, the card that came out with this actually is an ace, but it's not the Ace of Wands. It's the Ace of Air, the Ace of Swords. And the Ace of Swords, you can see, just like we talked about Neptune turning retrograde, it's this newfound clarity. The Ace of Swords, a new thought, a new way of thinking, a new idea, a new way to perceive something, a new perspective or perception. And there's this clarity here. She's actually closing her eyes to gain that inner kind of, in her mind, clarity. And there's even like a spiral staircase here. So again, the winding road, just like the Wheel of Fortune with the many layers of old karmic lifetimes and times and places that you've carried something karmically. Here's this winding staircase. Now that could be going back into past lives, going back into other times and places. That could be moving us down into the subconscious, this staircase. It's like going down, down, down. This could be in the subconscious lies this little spark of clarity, right? And as we clean up the subconscious from old patterns and old stories, we've got this aha moment, this light, this revelation that kind of shines through and says, look at this new way of looking at something. Look at this new perspective. Look with clear vision at what lies up ahead. This is a new beginning. But first, the new beginning is in the realm of thought. It's on the mental body level. But following or coming out with the 10 of Wands, as we're needing to maybe let something go and release so that we can have a new beginning. And the new beginning, again, starts on the mental body level with how we're looking at something or perceiving something. It could be definitely about how we're perceiving our own evolution and growth and our own story, our own karmic spiritual story. But that clarity is there. So allow that clarity to come in. And then the last card, now this has been happening more and more often lately. This is a card that as I was shuffling fell out of the deck. I always tell them if it's a card that you want me to use, have it be picture side or image side up. And it fell out, but it fell out reversed. So we are going to read it, probably mostly reversed, but I feel like there's something to be said about it being upright too. and it's the Hanged Man. So this is Major Arcana 12. This is what it looks like in its upright form, the Hanged Man. And so typically when it comes out in upright motion, we're needing to look at something from a different perspective. She's hanging upside down. So she's looking at everything. She's looking at her reality from a different vantage point. So it means that we have to surrender and, again, let go. Surrender and let go. Now, in its upright form, look at what the image looks like. It almost is like she's almost like looking, starting to look up towards the universe, look up towards the higher dimensions. You know, she's kind of in this interesting kind of stance here, right, where she's holding her own ankles. But it's like she's flipping herself up to look up. And that's Neptune turning retrograde. We're needing to see with clarity. Here's the clarity right here. You know, it's very kind of similar here with the light coming into the picture of the Ace of Swords here. But here's the clarity, the newfound clarity, as we're looking up to the higher realms. We're looking at things from a higher perspective. And we're again releasing and letting go of being stuck or just hanging there. We're releasing and letting go of this idea of being kind of in a standstill sort of pause. And so I like that this came out reversed. You know, how she's got her hand in the air is almost like she's reaching for something. She's reaching for something higher, you know, higher on a spiritual level. She's holding her own ankles so that she's not kind of floundering. If she let go of her ankle, she'd kind of be like floundering, but she's trying to like hold herself in such a way that she's able to reach up and flip up and move up into those higher realms to witness and have awareness of those higher perspectives. So I think this is a good message. Just the repeating theme of some sort of change and need to like release some sort of heavy burden so that we can move forward on our highest destiny path and stop repeating, as all these wheels are showing, stop repeating whatever the lesson is. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the special message card depending on your stone of choice. So the first stone of choice was the blue gold stone. So blue gold stone, people, for the week. Blue gold stone. Blue gold stone. Okay, this one's calling my attention, the one that was on the kind of the bottom at a point. Soulful appreciation. And we do kind of have this seesaw or teeter-totter, right? This is about that value, that Venus and Taurus and Uranus and Taurus coming together. Taurus, the sign of what we value, who we value, and how we value ourselves. Do we value the material realm with its resources of money and gifts and security? I mean, yes, we all want security, but do we value this more than we value our own transformation? Do we value this more than we value our creative freedom? Do we value this more than we value our joy and happiness? It says at the bottom, heartfelt gratitude. So what are you grateful and thankful for? What do you appreciate in your life? Who do you appreciate in your life? What about yourself do you appreciate in your life? If somebody were to be asked that question, what do you appreciate about yourself? You probably wouldn't first think of, oh, I appreciate my money. No, you would think about, I appreciate my ability as a soul to move in my evolution and growth. I appreciate my gifts. I appreciate my creative self-expression. Those are probably the things that you think of before you think of, oh, I appreciate my money, my resources. So have gratitude, have that appreciation for life, have that appreciation for your gifts, have that appreciation for your friends, have that appreciation for what it is that you offer out into the world, right? Your energy. And as you appreciate what's really important in life, then more and more gifts are magnetized to you. More and more abundance and prosperity and blessings are magnified to you. So if you focus on your beautiful blessings within and around you, you're going to draw more of that to you. Okay? All right, let's put that back in the deck. And the next stone of choice was the blue apatite. So blue apatite people. Blue apatite people, special message. This one's calling my attention. And it's mindfulness. These are very kind of internal processing sort of cards, right? It's like the gratitude, the appreciation, now the mindfulness. It says peaceful presence and having a quiet mind. So being within ourselves, being in this meditative state, being in a self-reflective state, being in a peaceful state. I think this is, the Neptune going retrograde, because Neptune does rule meditation. It rules our spirit guides and the angelic realm and connecting with those other realms. And so this, both of the cards so far are very Neptunian with its energy. So this is about doing more self-reflection. Again, going into meditation, calling in and connecting with your higher soul self. We have this spiral here over the throat chakra. So moving into speaking your truth with mindfulness, not with haphazardness, right? But with thinking before we speak. Connecting and opening up our crown chakra to claircognizance, receiving downloads of information and guidance from the higher realms. And while we meditate, we're able to open all of our psychic abilities, claircognizance being one of them, which is inner knowing, just knowing. And again, having the insights, the higher wisdom and knowledge that's coming through that crown chakra. So be in peace this week. Do things that create peace this week. Be around peaceful people this week. Okay? It makes me feel like that Venus-Uranus might stir something up, and we need to do something to stay a little bit more grounded with that shakeup of energy, that energy that Uranus is going to bring in. All right, and the last stone of choice was the indigo aura quartz, right? So indigo aura quartz people, special message for indigo aura quartz people. This one's calling your name. Again, a very internal sort of message. It says your eternal spirit, higher self, and sacred intuition. So all of these have very similar meanings. I think the first one was soulful appreciation, and then we had the mindfulness card, and now we have your eternal spirit. So we're connecting with a deeper essence of the cosmos with all of these cards. We're connecting with our higher self, we're connecting with the higher realms, we're connecting with our guides and angels, we're connecting with our deep inner sense of peace. We're connecting with our intuition. This one has the third eye chakra that's mostly lit up. Crown chakra too, but it seems like the little ball of light here is at that third eye chakra. So clairvoyance, clear vision, imagination, right? Really tuning in that sense. But she's also expanding her aura in all directions. She's really expanding herself to move into the spiritual realms, to merge with her higher soul self. Just as the card says, higher self, your eternal spirit. Because as we merge with the oneness of the universe, and I think all of these cards can, it can be said for all these cards that came out for the special messages. As we merge with that energy, then we're merging into our authenticness, our true sense of beingness, our true selves is that of spirit. We're just inhabiting a physical body, a physical vessel. We're really these beautiful eternal spirits within a physical body. So that's where we need to go this week, is really focus on the intangible, the intangibleness and mystery and magic and miraculous energy of our soul, of our higher self, our eternal self. Okay, one last thing I'm going to say, because it kept coming up, that I meant to say this during the astrology portion, but I guess it just blipped out for a minute. And they want me to make sure to mention to you that as we do next week's video, the Monday the 7th of July, right? We'll start next week. And on Monday the 7th of July, Uranus, the Great Awakener, will move into Gemini. So that's going to be really potent, powerful, important, because it'll be in Gemini for the next 7 years. It will revisit just for a short time Taurus in a retrograde motion later on. But with Uranus moving into Gemini, an air sign, thoughts, ideas, perceptions, perspectives, communication, and Uranus being the Great Awakener, the ruler of the God mind, it's really going to shift the energy dynamic. And we're really probably going to feel it as well. So we'll feel it just starting to like come into shift on probably Sunday. For those of you that are really sensitive, perhaps even earlier than that, you might have some sleepless nights for one. Uranus is like a lightning bolt. It's like sometimes putting your finger in a light socket. And with it going into Gemini, it's going to even magnify that energy even more. So I wish you all love and light. Thank you all for watching my videos and commenting. And please check out my new website, ColleenLemma.com, and then, leave me a message as to what you think of it. It's still, we're still probably tweaking some things as with any new website. You got to work out some of the kinks or whatnot, but it's mostly done, and I'd love you to take a look at it. And that will be where you want to go in the future to book a service or to book a class or a workshop, to see what's going on. You can join my newsletter. I do have a new blog on there. So I appreciate all of you. Thank you for your support and your love over the years. And I send you many, many blessings of love and light. Namaste.